Hey everybody, welcome to my Suburban Oasis. My name's Soleil and I garden in a zone 6A in mid-Michigan, and today we're going to get some tasks done that I've been waiting to get done for quite some time. The first one we're going to do is we are going to tackle some false mophead cypress. I've got two of them in my fountain garden bed, and I want to go down to just one because I want to grow it a little bit bigger, and I think it will look much better that way as opposed to trying to keep it trimmed super small. The other thing that I want to do is I want to show you how I cut back my mums because we're getting closer and closer to the 4th of July, which is next month, and that means that we need to keep them trimmed back so that I can kind of Chelsea chop them and allow them to bush out and stay small and not flap when they bloom. The third thing that we're going to do is we're going to trim up that eastern snowball viburnum that I've been waiting for the blooms to go over. It's time to get that done. All right, let's get started on the false mophead cypress moving. Okay, well, here's the false mophead cypress that I want to remove, and then the other one that's in this garden bed we're actually just going to move and put kind of in the center between the bushes. So I've got my handy dandy root slayer shovel here, and I am just pleased as punch with how well these have been growing on in my garden. I got these actually for free off of Facebook Marketplace about 3 years ago. And they took so well. They were just kind of these scrappy little shrubs at the time when I got them, and they had weeds in them. I think somebody had planted them in too much shade and they just weren't getting what they needed. It's always a trick trying to get things out of an established garden bed. You don't want to harm the other plants while you're digging another one up. All right, there we go. One out. I think I'm going to turn the fountain off because it's splashing me. The nice thing about these false cypresses is they don't have a super giant root ball. And it's also been raining quite a bit lately, so it's fairly easy to dig in the soil right now. All right, I think I just about got it. Here we go. I'm going to dig out this heuchera. And we'll put it right over there. All right, I think this is the way that I want it to face. So now we're just going to backfill. accidentally dug up a dianthus, guys. Oops. And then we're going to water this in real thoroughly. I think that looks good. Let's take a look. Okay, let's get this watered in real good. All right, I just really want to get this watered in really well. I moved those couple of heucheras and I gotta get those watered too. This will really help settle the soil in around the roots and help it grow strong. Well, I think this looks amazing. This gives this bush a little bit more room to grow, and that way I can give it a little bit more height and get it a little closer to the bottom of that Japanese maple tree for that wonderful contrast that it provides. I'm so glad to have gotten that done. Now I need to put the other one into the long border. All right, well, next up we are going to prune some mums, and this is sort of the Chelsea chop because mums can get really leggy. So you see this one is even leggier than normal because we've had so much rain this year. It's already probably over a foot tall, and the goal here really is to clip these back so that they don't flop over and just splay and leave a big hole in the center. So we have some nice sturdy stems. And so I'm just gonna come through and cut way down, and I'm not being super careful about where I cut these because they'll grow back just real nice. They'll rebound easily. You do want to make sure, hopefully, that there are some leaves that are still on the plant. You don't want to cut it back too harshly. So you can see I'm leaving just a skosh of foliage at the top here. And these are going to really thicken up quickly after this. And indeed, if they start to encroach on other flowers, or bushes, all I do is come through and I pull these out. So I'll just come through and pull, and they usually come out fairly easily with the roots and all, and that's all I need to do to just provide a little bit more space and air for the other plants around it, because this is going to get real big by this fall. There's another root we pulled out. All right, great. Let's go prune that viburnum we've been waiting for. All right, well, here we are now in the shade, which is wonderful after being in the hot sun doing that heavier work. And we get to do some pruning, which I absolutely love. And we're going to work on this shrub, which I've been working into a tree form over the last couple of years. And I want to make sure that I keep it nice and tidy and trim and underneath my roof line. And so I want it to really fill out, because that way I'll get more blooms and it will be more robust looking. The stems will get thicker over time before it gets taller. So here's what we're going to do. I've got my secateurs, and I'm going to come in and trim this back quite a bit. So we'll start just wherever I want to start at trimming back. And as I go, I'll start to expose some of the trunk of the tree, and we'll start to see a little bit of the structure of it better, and we'll be able to then know where to make our cuts. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to start with this branch that's coming straight out at me, and I'm going to take it back to the furthest node that I can on here that still has branches on it, and I'm going to clip right above it. And I'm going to do that for quite a few of these branches and just see where that takes us. and then I'll do more. So this one all the way back to that node there. And you can see I've got lots of shoots trying to give me height, but I really don't want to get too much height yet. I still want to work on getting it bushy. So I'm taking these back to a node. I also don't want it growing directly back into the house. So you can see it's kind of flattened up against the bricks. So I want to make sure to trim those as well. The other thing that's going to be important for this is to make sure it's something that I can continue to trim, even if it means that I need a little bit of a ladder to do it. The thing that's important with this pruning process, though, is that when I'm done, you're not just seeing a bunch of sticks up in the air that look like I hacked away at this. So again, it's important to get to a node where there's some leaves, so they help to kind of cover up where it is that you have done your pruning, all while trying to avoid stepping on the plants below. So now if you step back, you can kind of see where I'm going at it and how this is going to look as the shrub comes out, and I think it's turning out quite nicely. We'll keep going at it. Also, I don't want these coming way out into the path out here. So again, just trimming back to where some nice stems come out. And at first, like the tips of these will be a kind of a light color, almost a tan or white. But as this ages, those will blend right into the shrub itself. So this one's kind of doing a crossing thing and growing straight forward. So I'm going to clip this one back. Alright, so on this branch, just to show you what I'm talking about, I'm going to come in and you see this nice green branch that's coming up and this that's going out. I'm going to clip right before that node there. I'm taking off quite a bit of height right now, and then we'll come through and look at some of these branches that seem to be crossing down low here. All right, down here, I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this whole branch off. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4 stems, this stem going back. And originally I had left this one on to make sure that we had enough kind of greenery to feed the plant. But now that we do, I'm going to come in and cut that one off because I like having the 3 down there. And then we're going to look for these crossing branches right here. Just kind of lift this up a little bit, cut some of these back so they are not smacking into one another. This will help open it up as well. Here I have a branch going completely sideways. Take that one out. I think we're getting much closer here, guys, to what I'm looking for. Now I think what you're going to see is you're going to see this plant rebound quite significantly because it is a nice big shrub. with a good root ball. And we've had some great rain. Okay, I need to get some of those that are pointing towards the back off. All right, well, I think that this looks pretty darn good. We've got it to where I want it to be. I may take off some of the ones that are kind of pointing out towards the path eventually, but right now, again, I don't want to take off too much, but I really wanted to give it a good trim so that it can start to put on some nice new bushy growth and do a little more branching and fill out. Well, thanks so much for joining me today. I hope you enjoyed this video where we tackled some jobs out in the garden. I've got to get to planting the other yellow mop-head cypress now, so we'll see you next time.